Joe Biden, new prezi. It's crazy. Out with the old and with the new. As is politics. Yo, yo, yo. What's good? As always, we'll give it a couple minutes before we get started. Let a couple people come in here real quick. This is definitely going to be one of the shorter ones. Not going to take up too much time. As always, I appreciate everybody who tapped in, especially quick because I hate waiting 10 minutes for motherfuckers to come in this bitch. Y'all niggas be on real nigga time. But, once again, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. We'll give it a couple more minutes. As always, if y'all want to ever donate, make sure y'all go to the nonprofit bbtcfoundation.com. We're going to get into a couple different things. The stock market is kind of shaky today, mainly because of this inauguration. They don't know how the shit's turning out. Investors are kind of shook. They think that Biden might say something. What up, J-Lo? Yeah, investors are scared that Biden's going to say something that's going to change policy in this inauguration. I don't know if y'all watching the inauguration right now. I am. He ain't talking about shit. Um, he's supposed to be signing a bunch of executive orders today, but I don't think any of it has a bearing on the stock market. If you see tech stocks down, it's because they are scared that he's going to put in some type of regulation that's going to affect their taxes. So if you see those type of things going down today, that's why. So we'll give it maybe like, we're here. We're here now. Let's just get to it. So for those who was wondering why I missed yesterday, I had shit to do. So that's what it is. But we here now. All your gains are up today. It's not like that for everybody. My gains are up today too. I'm actually doing well because I have Apple. I told y'all to invest in Apple, and if you did invest in Apple like I told you to, then there's no reason why your stock should be down today because Apple has gone up about $5 already. A little bit over $4. So the stocks, it's going up and down. But for the most part, I mean, if you tapped into Simon Property Group like I told you niggas to, you should see profit. Tesla's up a little bit. Um, Boeing's doing well, but Apple looks like it's the main one on his shit today. Another stock that's doing well that I've actually warned you guys about is Microsoft, and I'm actually going to explain why Microsoft is doing so good because it has a lot to do with one of the stocks I'm about to recommend for y'all today. But I warned y'all about Microsoft, so just make sure y'all tap into that shit. Um, so yeah, like I was saying before in the like when I posted online or whatever, there's a few stocks that I wanted to kind of go over with y'all that you would not normally consider in terms of the weed industry that you can that actually is going to benefit from the weed industry that you would never think of. So that's what the a majority of today is going to be about. There's a few stocks specifically that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and as always, don't just go get a stock based on what I'm telling you. Just like any other situation, make sure you guys are doing your research because it will tell the tale on if this stock is worth investing into. But the article I seen it was earlier today. It's actually in Yahoo Finance. Good luck finding it. A couple of the stocks that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The first one is Altria, and that's Altria. It's actually a big tobacco company, but for most tobacco companies, cigarettes are dying, so they are trying to find a way to get into the marijuana industry. So Altria is one stock that I definitely will tell you guys to tap into. They've actually recently invested almost $2 billion in the Canadian pot firm Kronos Group, um, and the stocks have gone down like 20% last year, but just going into this upcoming year, because they do believe that um, weed is going to become federally available. That's a stock to definitely look into. Like once again, it's one of those stocks that you would never really think has anything to do with the marijuana industry, but they are investing heavily into it. Another stock that I want you guys to look into is Anheuser-Busch. Um, and yes, those are the guys who made Budweiser. Um, you know, once again, alcohol is what it is, but being that marijuana is the new wave, They are actually getting into it as well. Um, there looks like they're going to be tapping into non-alcoholic drinks that contain both THC and CBD. So it's through one of their subsidiaries, Labatt Breweries out in Canada, but they're putting a real big push behind this. So that's something that you would definitely want to look into. And then the last stock that I wanted to speak about that pertains to a stock that you would not normally associate with weed is Molson Coors. Like Coors, whatever. And they're doing the exact same thing as Anheuser-Busch. They're investing into the cannabis-based beverages industry with the Hexo Corporation. So once again, the three main stocks that I want you guys to look into, all these stocks have a real big potential to boom. And this article that I'm looking at is talking about potential stocks that have the real high probability of booming. And if you do your research on all these stocks individually, it'll make sense as to why these stocks are something to look into. So once again, for people who maybe missed it, once again, the first stock is Altria. The acronym for that on the stock exchange is MO. The other one is Anheuser-Busch, and that one is BUD. And then the last one is Molson Coors, and they have two different types of stocks. It is either TAP or TPS-A. I will look at the TAP. But yeah, so those are the three stocks that I would definitely look into. These are stocks that, once again, they don't promote themselves as marijuana, anything regarding the marijuana industry, but they are making huge investments. And because each one of these companies have so much financial backing, it's going to be pretty hard for these companies to fail um, in this industry. Yo, and by the way, if you live in Arizona, man, listen, man, that Prop 207 shit, man, you can grow up to 12 plants legally, man. And I'm not gonna really get into the plans that I got. We'll just let those play out. But I mean, learn how to get into that industry and get to that bag, man. Because 12 plants, depending on the type of lights you can get a pound out of each plant. And I don't know about y'all, but if I can get 12 plants and get 12 bows out of them bitches, and you can get a crop every 2 months and get them bitches off, I mean, that's an extra 5 figures that you're looking at. That's random, but just something to kind of keep in mind if you live in the state of Arizona. So I also want to speak about another vehicle. There's a new something in GM that you guys should look into. GM recently partnered with Microsoft to create a self-driving car. It's going to be available out in 2025. If you've actually checked the trends, GM shot up yesterday because of that announcement, and realistically, it's going to continue to shoot up. It's at its all-time high right now, as is. So the thing is about those type of situations is whenever the stock is at its high point, it's really hard to understand exactly what the return on investment could be because there's no real history showing it being bigger than what it's at right now. But GM has also never made a self-driving car before. I'm personally not too gung ho about being in no car with somebody that ain't driving that shit, so I ain't taking part. But this seems like this is the wave that a lot of the auto dealerships are trying to figure out going into the next 4 or 5 years. Once again, Apple is in the process of investing into a iCar that's kind of the same shit. Obviously, Tesla's been working on that for a long time. So GM, with the history that they have, I guess they feel like it's important to kind of get into that realm as well. So once again, they're partnered up with Microsoft, and that's why I was telling you guys at the beginning of this to look into Microsoft because they did partner up with GM to actually create this. And once again, it should be available in 2025. But once again, if you look at the stocks, it'll show that the stocks went crazy so far this week. So I would definitely look into investing into GM. It's not really that expensive. It's maybe only, I forgot, maybe like 40, $50 a pop. Um, but yeah, it's one of those stocks that unless we come across something else sometime soon where the car industry is super affected, which I don't see that based on any of the growing trends, um, it should do very well. And last year, the auto industry didn't really fall off at all. It was listed as an essential industry. So, and being that my wife worked at GM for like 7 years, actually longer than that, 10 years. But I get insight on what's going on when it comes to GM. At least I did before she moved over to Toyota. But yeah, once again, tap into GM, do your research on that, as well as Microsoft. So those are five solid stocks, man, that I named off. And once again, if you do your research on them, all of them have the potential to grow. I don't know about doubles and triple ups and shit like that. Um, 656.46 at the moment. Yeah, so yeah, 40-50 bucks, some shit like that. But once again, it has a high upside potential, and if you do your research on it, it will give you the opportunity to grow as this self autonomous driving shit kicks off. Not to throw you off topic, are you familiar with Baidu or Plug Power? If so, what are your thoughts? Not familiar with it. Sorry, I'll do my research on it and tap in with you tomorrow. Uh, but yeah, I'll definitely look into it. There was another stock that I wanted to kind of go over. Once again, Intel. I keep going over this Intel and the Intel stock and the Micron Technology stock. Both of those stocks are a little down today, but in the big scheme of things, they're both up since the last time I spoke on them. So there was one other stock that I wanted to briefly tap in with. Oh yeah, Marvel Technology. So so Marvel is like normal Marvel just with a second L on it. So Marvell technology. The acronym in the stock market is MRVL. But they have, I'll just read this. It says that it's a 33 billion market cap company, but it's worth putting on your radar right in the prime time of 5G revolution. Um, I guess Marvel stands to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of 5G rollout because it manufactures the key elements of the infrastructure, application specific integrated circuits, and embedded processors for 5G base stations. So, just to kind of, so once again, here's another just reason why you should get it. While the average retail investor's attention has likely been pinging on stocks like Intel, boom, Micron, boom, two stocks I told you about. Marvel is much more unique buy-in to one of the biggest technology revolutions since the internet itself. So, that's something that I would definitely look into as well. It seems like it has the upside to do bigger than the other two microchip stocks that I looked at. So, Marvel Technologies, once again, Marvel with two L's. So, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give y'all like 2 minutes to ask me any questions that you have. Not even. If you guys got any questions, shoot them real quick. If not, I'm gonna get on my way. But I just gave y'all about 5 or 6 stocks that y'all can look into. You don't have to invest in all of them. Shit, you don't have to invest in none of them. But I would do my research on them because a lot of these stocks that I just named off are gonna do like how they do when I tell y'all about these stocks that do what they do. Just as a reminder, we've taken 0 losses from the stocks that I've named off. Start looking at your guys' yearly what your total return on investment is. Like when you're looking at your stock market numbers, don't spend so much time looking at what the day-to-day shit is. Obviously the day-to-day shit matters if shit is crashing, but give yourself some idea on what your total return on investment has been so far. I can tell you specifically for me, since March I've actually got over 46% return on investment, from my stocks. And you can't name another investment tool in the world unless you about to step into the dope game that's going to give you a 46% return on investment in the first year. So I'm super excited, and that was with a down year. So I'm super excited with what 2020 is going to do. I hope that every single one of y'all invest into these stocks that can potentially double up. There's still a lot of potential double up stocks out there. Um, just do your research, y'all, and watch some of these past streams that I've done in the past. So looks like nobody else has any questions. So as normal, if you want to donate, make sure you go to bbtcfoundation.com. That's pretty much it, man. Y'all have a good one.